Imagine this scenario that your grandmother is sick and you just got a call saying that she may die any moment. You get another call saying that you've just won $6,000 in a scheme, but to get it, you have to reach here within 1 hour. What would you do?
Simple, man. Grandmothers, you have two, right? You always get another chance.
The money, you got only one chance.
Just go for the money.
No brainer, really. And in fact, I would tell the caller, would you make it 10,000 if I make it in the next 15 minutes? Hello, viewers and listeners and others who are neither viewing nor listening. Welcome to another episode of Jest Business, a podcast in which we make fun of the many absurdities in business. And we've been getting a lot of positive comments and feedback. And with that, Rahul, any welcoming comments for this episode?
Well, you know, the usual, I would think humor is fun and it's funny.
Yes.
Or maybe it's funny because it's fun. Or maybe it's fun because of funny, anything, one of those things.
One of those.
But what I want to say is, apart from being fun or funny, it can also be used to, be productive at work. So in that sense, everyone loves humor. In a way, I call it humor as ice cream. Everyone loves it.
Yes.
But apart from loving it, it can also, be a bit more productive at work. You can have ice cream at work. And if you too would also like it, Paddy and I both conduct workshops for humor for leaders. And if you're interested, please drop us a mail at jestbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. That's Jest Business, Jest, jestbusinesspodcast@gmail.com. And with that, let's go.
This podcast is being sponsored by Coromandel Productions. The folks at Coromandel aim to showcase human interest and heartwarming stories from all walks of life. They do this through short films, documentaries, sports television, corporate films, feature-based content, and promotional videos. Coromandel Productions is headquartered in Singapore and has offices in India and the UK. So if you're looking for high-quality professional videos, you know where to go.
So, Paddy, I have watched quite a bit of those Coromandel videos, and I must say they do make a dry and interesting topic appear a bit far more lively. A bit like what we are doing here as well, I hope.
Yes, I think so, Yes. In fact, you reminded me, you might have gathered subtle hints I've been giving that I'm fond of tennis and that I play the game. So I'm fond of only tennis, and I've not played any other game since when a very young age. But after watching the Coromandel video on the Singapore Cricket Club and the way they portrayed things like billiards, football, cricket, and even bridge, I almost feel tempted to take up those games, which is saying a lot. Yeah. So if any of you are thinking of making a high-class video, and dare I say it, if your subject matter is not so interesting, but you want to make it interesting, I think Coromandel is something you should check out.
Paddy, the Singapore Cricket Club might start objecting if you start showing at the club just because you saw the very fascinating Coromandel videos. But yeah, that's a good endorsement of them. Anyway, so coming to today's podcast, Paddy, I thought, our motto is the boringer it is, the funnier we make it.
Yes. Lovely motto.
And I think there are few things more boring than a full-day compliance workshop. I mean, the only thing that is more boring than a full-day compliance workshop is a 2-day compliance workshop.
Yes.
And maybe a 3-day workshop could be boring, but honestly, no one's really survived that to tell the story. So the mathematical calculation showed it's theoretically possible, but no one really knows it. It's like dark matter,
Exactly.
So, but the funny or weird thing is, despite all this compliance workshop, whether 1 day or 2 day, we try to address the thing like conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is really rife at work. Don't you think so?
It's really rife. And not just at everywhere, but it's in every company and in higher powers of government. And it looks like the higher you go, the more chance of conflict of interest there is. And I thought about it deeply, and I think it all boils down to a 5-letter word. And you viewers, in case you're thinking it's vision or mission, I would say no. First of all, those are not 5-letter words. The 5-letter word, I think, which is behind most conflict of interest is money. M-O-N-E-Y, money. What do you say?
I will agree. I'll raise you on that. So just to complement that with one more 5-letter word, I think it's not just money. It's greed for money.
Greed for money. Absolutely.
So, in fact, the greed is so huge. I would say let's devote today's episodes to the greed for money.
Yes.
And I would think what better industry to illustrate this than high finance?
Finance, yes.
And what better technique to illustrate it than
Role play. Great. To start this role play,
Okay.
I'll be Rick Hamilton, the CEO of Anytime Bank.
Mhm.
And I'd like you to play two roles. First one is Kevin Mayer,
All right.
Executive Director of Finance, and Tim Richardson, who's the head of HR. And
it.
not only do you want to play these two roles, I want us both to transport ourselves back in time to 2011, because what we are going to talk about concerns real things that happened in that period. Shall we? The following is based on a newspaper article that came out in the Tampa Bay Times on January 31st, 2011. It's about this baseball player, Meche, who had a perfectly legal contract of $12 million per year. And despite his injury, he had this contract that he would be paid this money. All he had to do was undergo surgery and come for training. He did not actually have to play a game. But he refused, and he refused the salary and declined. And that's what we are going to base our dialogue on. Good morning, gentlemen. The reason I called you here is to discuss some important stuff that was in today's paper.
Rick, I checked the stock prices. They are pretty all right. The market's quiet. I checked the commodity prices. They're holding still. No movements on the interest rates too. But more importantly, even the Porsche 911, which I ordered, is on track for delivery. So I really don't see anything to worry
Did you
about.
read the sports section? That's what I'm talking about. Did you read the sports section?
I don't really do sports, Rick, unless it's a sports car like the Porsche 911. It's just a waste of time. You can't really make money from sports, well, unless you bet on it, but then you have to do it with your own money, and where's the fun in that?
Stupid policy, Kevin. Let's hear from Tim. Tim, did you read the sports section today?
Yes, I think you're referring to the Packers and Bears NFC Championship, right? The first time they're meeting in the playoffs after, I think, almost 1941, 70 years.
I read that, Tim, but I will not call my two senior fellows to discuss something like that on an office day. I called you here to discuss this news about this baseball player, Meche. He had this perfectly legal contract that he would be paid $12 million every year. And all he had to do was to land up for practice and take a surgery. He did not have to actually play a game. You must have heard about this.
Right? Tell me about it, man. Meche has it really made. But there are other Kansas City Royals players who can actually fill in it for him.
Don't interrupt me. First of all, you don't read the sports section. And then you come and give me some nonsense about other players. What I'm talking about is how Meche had it made. He had this contract for $12 million a year. All he had to do was to land up and do some surgery. He did not actually have to play. And you know what he did?
Yeah?
He did not.
Sorry, I lost you there.
He did not land up, man. He did not land up for the game. And he said, I don't want the 12 million. I feel that I have not earned it. Have you heard anything like this in nonsense in your life?
Let me get this straight. He wanted to earn the money which was being, in fact, just given it to him.
Absolutely. I thought it was some publicity stunt. But it looks like it's real. He says he did not deserve it because he was not playing the game.
Deserve. Again, it's a good idea. But honestly, deserving one's income. It's like saying, I'll get a promotion when I deserve it. Who's going to wait that long? Yeah. I need a drink, man.
It's 10:15 in the morning, but I do too. So let's do one thing. Let's wrap this up quickly and go for an early lunch and put in some cocktails there.
Sure.
And of course, we're going to discuss this important matter. So it'll be a business lunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I'll pay and you approve. That's how it works, right?
Yeah,
That's how all business lunches correct.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
But Rick, I was thinking, I hear what you're saying, but maybe, and just about maybe, there's another angle to this. Maybe there's opportunity loss which is making up in some goodwill somewhere else, or maybe his risk-adjusted cost of, capital.
No, man, there's only a banker like you will think of it. This guy is a simple sportsman. There's no angle. There's only one angle, and it's an obtuse angle. Even I can't make out. And that's why we are flummoxed about what happened here.
And honestly, in my 23 years of banking, I'm in 25 if you count the overtime. In my 23 years of banking, I never heard anything so bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, even the rating agencies talk more sense.
Correct. Exactly.
I mean, okay, let me see what it says. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I deserved it. There's a thought. What do you think he really means by deserved?
The deserved, even I was baffled, so I checked it up in the dictionary. I said, what does this word mean? And it says justly merited, earned, as in I deserved the holiday that I went for. I just could not understand. It did not give me any clarity further.
I mean, grammatically the sentence is correct, but does not really make any sense. It's like saying a customer complained that we charge him admin fees for doing nothing. It's grammatically correct.
It could be.
But admin fees are for doing nothing, right?
Exactly.
For doing something we are commissioned. So, I mean, it's all logical. But coming back to Meche, is he really talking in English now? Because I've received a solid bonus for 23 straight years, and regardless of what was happening in other parts of the bank. So I am having some trouble getting a handle around this.
Exactly. In fact, those heady days when the whole crisis happened, financial crisis, and remember the government gave a lot of bailout money. Those were our very, very good years of bonus. Oh my God, you've taken me back to some of our very, very best years.
But just to be sure, so whatever all that deserve means, we deserved all the bonuses that we got over the past 23 years, right?
Deserve? Entitled, Rahul. This is. I mean, it doesn't even merit talking about. But coming back, what will happen? My worry, the reason I called you gentlemen here is, what if this disease spreads? What if other sportsmen start saying that we don't deserve this for not playing, and we actually say no to our contract?
Wait.
And what if that comes to banking?
No. You mean that?
Yes, I mean that exactly. What if they say the government has given you guys bailout money, you've been getting help, you should be saying no to your bonuses?
Saying no? I mean, honestly, the only time we say no is when we are asked to testify against the the Congress,
correct.
Right? That's, oh God, no. I mean, can't even beginning to imagine the ramifications of this.
So that's why I called you gentlemen. I think the good news is I found out the Jelmish is a customer of our bank.
Okay.
And Gary Brooks is the relationship manager. So Kevin, I want you to have a chat with Gary and tell him to drill some sense into this Jelmish fellow.
Yeah, but he's a celebrity in his own right. What if he refuses to listen?
I haven't the answer to that. Offer him a cash incentive. And now let's do one more role play. But for this, let's fast forward to a year later, around May of 2012. And again, this is based another real life incident. And this was concerning somebody from Goldman Sachs.
The following dialogue is based on Why I Am Leaving Goldman Sachs, an op-ed written by Greg Smith and published in the New York Times in March 14, 2012.
To mix things up, you pay the CEO Hamilton and I'll play his stooges. What do you say?
All right. So let's reverse the roles. Okay, sit down, gentlemen. Something's really important's come up, so I called you in a hurry and immediately. Yes,
Rick,
Tim, what is it?
I was interviewing candidates for our management trainee program. Could this not have waited?
No. If it could, I would have waited. I couldn't, so I called you. So stop wasting time and please don't ask any more stupid questions. Please sit down.
I'm already sitting, actually.
Yeah, so you are, and so is Kevin, which is also being played by you. Have you guys read the article? It's on my phone. Have you read this article? It's by a guy called Greg Smith, who quit Goldman Sachs yesterday.
Yeah. I read. What a hilarious nut. In fact, I was really amused. This is what he says actually in the article. It makes me ill how callously people talk about ripping their clients off. The man must have been sick all his life. And then he says, call me old-fashioned, but I don't like selling my clients a product that is not meant for them. Old-fashioned? My God, you're a dinosaur.
Yeah, but exactly, Kevin. This is exactly what I'm worried about. And stop laughing. I didn't invite you over to have a laugh. You only laugh our way to the bank. Remember, exactly a year back, we had talked about this Meche situation.
Yes.
Where the player refused to take a $12 million fee just for showing up. And that time we had wondered, what if this illness or whatever we were suffering from spreads to other industries? But gentlemen, this is happening. Now we are bankers doing the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I think it's like a virus spreading through different industries.
Actually, you're right. You're right, Rick. First, it was baseball players. Now it is bankers kind of refusing to rip off their clients. What's next? I mean, politicians stop accepting kickback money. Wow.
Don't even joke about that. That's the end of civilization as we know it. Not that we know a lot, but whatever we know till the end of it. Anyway, the reason I called you to check with you if we have any such walking time bombs in any time.
No. I shouted a bit loudly because I'm speaking for both of us here.
Okay. And it's very easy to say no with a straight face, Tim or Kevin, whoever you are, because I've done it so many times in front of congressional committees, regulators, whenever they ask, are you sure that your banking's control procedures are intact or watertight? I always say, yes, they are. There's no problem. But I need to know, how are you so sure? Because just between friends, I need to know, do you ensure you have such time bombs to recruiting, or there's a training, or you're interviewing your next batch of management trainees? How are you making sure there is no time bomb?
So as the HR head, Rick, let me assure you that our whole recruitment process is built on ensuring this. So we go to the top universities. So we don't waste too much time gauging the capabilities of these people in terms of their skills and their financial ability, etc. Because that's kind of given. What we look for is a deep, burning motivation for money. And two things we look within this. One is that this motivation overrides in a very big way any other motivation they may have, family, wife. The money should dominate. And the second is they will go to any length to achieve money. These two things are at the fundamental core of how we design our recruitment set.
That's right on the money. The pun was intended, so you can laugh.
Good one.
But the question is, how do you ensure you get the answer?
Oh, thank you for asking that. First, we start with the focus group discussion. And we give them a case that can test this money motivation. And one of my favorites, we have many cases, but one of my favorites, in fact, is one that I've just used for the interviewing session that's going on, and which I would have been doing now if you had not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, getting to that. So in this group discussion, we asked the candidates to discuss a client is with them. I mean, they're talking to a client as their relationship manager. The client is of modest wealth and of very conservative risk appetite.
Mm-hmm.
And you have two options to present to this client. Option A is a safe option with low risk, which will give them a 6% yield. And the bank commission on that is about 0.9%.
Okay.
Option B can give them an upside of 9 to 10% return. But since it's risky, there is also the chance that they may make 0%. A chance also that some of the principal will get lost. A chance that perhaps the whole thing will go, but we won't get into that. And the commission on that for the bank is about 2.5%. So in the group discussion, I asked them to evaluate and which one would they recommend to the client.
Yeah, but that seems like a doozy, Tim. I mean, it's obviously option B, isn't it?
I mean, it's a doozy for you, Rick. You're a senior CEO of a bank. You've been doing this for so many years, selling such products. You know it like the back of your hand, but probably better than the back of your hand, because when did you last see the back of your hand? I don't know.
True.
But for some of these guys, you'll be surprised. Many of them choose option A, citing things like, it matches the client's wealth and his risk appetite. We weed them out straight away at the group discussion stage. And we focus on the option B fellows to take them further.
That sounds like a good plan, Tim. So remove the weeds during the group discussion and then focus on the flowers for the interviews. Nice.
Okay. Thanks, Rick. And I really liked your analogy. So, and if I may take it further, in the interview process, among these flowers, we look for the orchids. How do you like that? And talking of that, in this particular candidate that I'm interviewing now, his name is Jeremy Habit. I think I found the Dendrobium seposium. That's the king of orchids.
I think Jeremy Habit would be an easier name to remember.
Yeah. Let's call him Jeremy Habit once he joins the bank, because he is really good. Because I took off from where he had said in the group discussion, he was one of the vehemently pushing for option B. I asked him, I probed on a little further. I said, what would you tell the client? And what he said really impressed me. He says, first of all, I would tell him that option B is much better in terms of the returns. And once I've convinced him, I would request him to permanently upgrade his investment appetite to high risk, so that I would tell him, we can give you more such products in the future. I would tell him that you're living very conservatively now. And with inflation, a 6%, 5% return is barely going to keep up. We want to increase your wealth, Mr. Client. And I would sell him the concept of upgrading his investment portfolio, and so that we could give him, and we would do it gradually. We give you slightly risky, till we still give the golden edge, really high return products. And I would tell him in the end, why are you riding a bicycle when you can drive a Ferrari, Mr. Client?
Tim?
Yeah.
I'm seriously can't tell you how impressed I am. I mean, it takes us 2-3 years, maybe even longer, before we legitimately coach our managers to upgrade the client's profile to a higher risk profile, so we can legitimately position the higher risk products. And you're saying he's doing it straight off the bat, even before joining? I think you got a prodigy on your hands.
We've got a prodigy.
But what most impressed me, he even used the Ferrari analogy, which is like our part of the standard. You think it's leaked out to him? No, I hope not, because he's brilliant. Brilliant.
I don't think. I think this guy's just natural brilliant, because to test him further, I asked this is another favorite question of mine. I told him that imagine this scenario, that your grandmother is sick and you just got a call saying that she may die any moment, and you're kind of packing up and ready to go. You get another call saying that you've just won $6,000 in a scheme, but to get it you have to reach here within 1 hour. What would you do?
I mean, it's simple, man. Grandmothers, you have two, right? You always get another chance. The money, you got only one chance. Just go for the money.
To you and I, it's simple. No-brainer, really,
Absolutely.
Rick. But you'll be surprised how many of the idiots, even though they've passed through they've chosen option B, they fall for this one. Many of them choose option A. College toppers, excellent in mathematics, but no sense of money. That's the problem. But I was telling you about Jeremy Habit. You know what he said?
Yeah.
He said, I would choose, obviously I would choose the money. And in fact, I would tell the caller, would you make it 10,000 if I make it in the next 15 minutes?
I must say that's really impressive. But Tim, that sounds a bit too good to be true. Do you think he's somehow gaming the system?
That occurred to me too, because that's something we learned to do over time. Maybe he started even before learning how to do it. He just does it naturally. So I had another question for him. About these, recently there was a news about these construction workers in New Jersey who had pooled in their money and to buy a lottery ticket, and they entrusted the buying of the ticket to Americo Lopez. Read about that?
Yeah.
He won 17.5 million and he kept it all to himself. He did not tell his friends. So I asked Jeremy, what do you think? Did Lopez do the right thing? He said, absolutely, he did the right thing. After all, there was no legal contract. Anyone with his brains would do the same thing. After all, it's real money we're talking about here. I was impressed.
Tim, I can't tell you how proud I am you discovered this blazing new talent.
Yes.
I think we found ourselves a keeper here. Ask the young man to drop by my office. I think I'll have lunch with him as well, and make sure we charge it to the client, of course. And I think we should really keep him. Anything else you wish to tell me?
I've definitely, Jeremy will be delighted to meet you. I also asked him one more thing, just to test, where their head is at. Who is your hero in life? And if they give answers like Mohandas Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, or Albert Einstein, they are out.
And who was Habit's hero?
Had this guy called Gordon Gekko.
Gordon Gekko. Who's he?
It doesn't really matter. What matters is the guy made a lot of money, and then he made a deal with the government because there was some ifs and buts the way he made the money, that he would be freed from persecution. He had it made, and that was his hero.
At least I'm proud to see the young generation today is being inspired in the right direction.
Yes.
Tim, I'm more relaxed to see that our recruiting is in really good hands. Next week, also please take me through our onboarding, training, performance appraisal systems, the compliance training, and ensure that these are emphasizing this money first culture. So that's all we are here for, right?
Yes.
That's what our industry stands for. And on that note, one last thing, I'm thinking we should also introduce mandatory monthly sessions for maximizing revenue for the bank. Make sure that everyone understands what their priorities are, and the primary obligation is to maximize the bank's revenue, bank share value, whatever you call it.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's good, but we should give it a nicer name than maximizing bank revenue. How about advanced client relationship management?
Brilliant.
Nice name, right?
I think, Tim, at these moments, I'm really proud. I think we chose you for this role. Perfect. No wonder you're such an effective HR leader.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
just
you.
wondering, with all this Jeremy Habit thing you told me, do you think it might be a good idea to ask Jeremy Habit to kind of lead a few sessions
That's
for
a
this
very
thing?
good idea.
Huh? I mean, he can share some of the values which we really wish more of our people could have. And if I can teach even, let's say, few of the other recruits who think like him,
Yes.
we would have solved both the Gil Meche problem as well as the Greg Smith
Yes.
problem.
I really like that idea. And why I really like it, Rick, is when it comes from senior people like me, the people are, especially Gens, these younger fellows are a bit jaded.
Mm-hmm.
But if it comes from their own peer, the advice, this value system of putting money first, I think it's a very good. And let's call those sessions, what should we call them? How about sustainable profit maximization in the area of advanced client relationship management?
Brilliant name for it. Says a lot but means nothing. I love it. You outdid yourself, Tim, again.
Thank you.
Okay, Paddy. So I think let's stop here, shall we?
Let's stop here.
Yeah.
Perfect time to do it. As you said in the beginning, an insatiable greed for money seems to be at the core of most of this conflict interest. So in another episode, we can talk about actual examples of real conflict of interest. But for now, do write to us at justbusinesspodcast@gmail.com with your thoughts on this episode and indeed other absurdities that you've seen at work that you would like us to talk about.
And also write to us to find out more about the Humor for Leaders workshop which me and Paddy conduct. That's all for now. Hope to hear from you. Bye.
Bye-bye.